For the first 7 decades of my life, I thought I had the world by the tail. I was fiercely independent. I studied many different faiths, and I had no idea how ignorant I was, and my sense had always been that the 3 Abrahamic faiths, as I understood them, had spent millennia arguing with each other and murdering each other at worst. But a couple of years ago in December, I had an experience and the Lord came for me. I was listening to my favorite music, which is Handel's Messiah, which I've listened to 10,000 times, and I heard the words for the first time in my life very clearly and understood. A trumpet shall sound, the dead shall be raised, incorruptible, and we will be changed. And I went out on my balcony, and every star in the heavens was singing Amen. Literally every star as I looked at the sky. And I had an experience of the love of the Lord which was overwhelming. I couldn't breathe. My chest was so full of this love, not knowing what that was. I hadn't been evangelized or I wasn't in a church. And that night, I got on my knees and gave my life to Christ. And my life has been completely changed. You know, I'm a Canadian. I live on a little island off the west coast with only 2,500 people on it. And some believers came to me and encompassed my partner. And we found ourselves joining that congregation. Suddenly, the thought of going to Israel was put in my mind. But I had many excuses for not following through on it until I had dinner with a friend one night. 1 hour later, he'd completely planned a 1-month trip to Israel for me. But in the experience we had in a month there, the Lord just grabbed my heart. And when we left, within a week of coming back, I said to Janet, I have to return. The roots of Christianity are in Israel. The history, the story that is depicted in the Bible from cover to cover is about the land of Israel and the Lord's chosen people. In an effort to try and understand, I signed up for a One for Israel course with David Mishkin. I didn't know anything about it, but I started to watch One for Israel videos a lot more. It became very clear that the church is coming back together, and that the way it's coming together is through Messianic Judaism. That's when I got that One for Israel is actually actively involved in that sort of a ministry. Decided to return for a month, and I had an experience where I was simply called to account on the Sea of Galilee, and I got down on my knees and I asked the Lord to take away my pride. He is faithful to each and every one of us. Not just me, and I'm absolutely sure that the promise is true. Jesus was a Jew. All of his followers, his disciples, were Jews. All of the early followers were Jewish. All of my congregation now know not only about Israel, but very specifically about my trips. I have One for Israel literature. I give it to all of them. The staff, the principals, everyone we met are just absolutely extraordinary people. The Lord's hand is on the ministry. This is where our faith comes from. Visit the land of Israel. It will change you. It will change you. My name is Stephen Alvey. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, and I'm One for Israel.